Well, not sure where to start. I decided to chronicle my next project in vlog format instead of just taking pictures like I normally do. And this was never my intended consequence of when I did. So I was bidding on some tools for my shop from an estate sale, and they had these vintage radios that looked to me like they were laying down on their backs on a workbench. So I thought they were like mantle top radios. Then I could tell they were fairly rough, but you couldn't tell just how rough or anything like that. And I placed all my bids on all these things because it was really cheap when I started bidding for some various tools and stuff. Like I said, these were an add-on to those tools, and everything just went through the roof, right? I mean, this auction ended at 10 o'clock at night, and people bid. I mean, they bid way more for all this equipment than what you typically see it for on Marketplace, or some stuff was even newer, and you could buy it new for the same price they were bidding on used and worn out stuff. So anyway, it was weird. But if you've ever done an auction like that online, you know that once you place your bid, you enter into a contract. You can't retract the bid, and all you can do is raise it. So I had already bid on all these things, including these two radios, these add-ons. Well, I won the radios and nothing else. So I ended up, like I said, if I could have gotten out of it, I so would have gotten out of it. But I ended up driving 3.5 hours each way to Montgomery, Alabama, to find these things laying down on a big wooden pallet, not a workbench. And I was like, oh my God, they're huge. And the condition was so much worse than I thought. So what you're looking at right now is after hours of me cleaning these things with vacuuming, degreasers, denatured alcohol to wipe stuff off. I'm going to show you the top of the one on the left. So what they originally looked like, the whole things, right? I mean, I don't know if you can really tell in this video how nasty that stuff is. And I mean, the veneer, I mean, the tops are just, it's completely shot, right? There's no saving. There's no saving some of this stuff here. So first thing I did was clean everything up to see what I had to work with. Oh, and by the way, I do have the chassis for this Airline radio over here, right around here. But I pulled it out because if I'm going to do anything with it, there's no way I want it to be, a giant AM radio. I think they're cool, both of them from around the 1930s, something like that. This thing here, this chassis, looks to me like it has never been worked on. All the original wax caps, leaking and nastiness. But I don't know if I'll ever do anything with that chassis, or if anybody else does. Of course, the speakers, it's got a transformer speaker instead of a permanent magnet. It's trashed, right? My bugs, whatever, water. There's so much water damage on all these things. So here's my plan. On this Airline one, I decided I'm going to turn this into like a jukebox idea, assuming I could get the cabinet fixed up. Well, the good thing about this cabinet is the face of it looks savable to me. It's a walnut veneer, book matched, with these appliques on, handmade appliques on the front of it. I'm going to have to fix the little decoration at the bottom. Maybe, I think it's missing the, I can't think of what you call the top of that. But anyway, I think I can fix the front of it. I mean, keep the front of it as is, which is the most important part. The sides, however, pretty trashed. Tons of water damage. It's walnut veneer, but it's loose most of the way up. Water damaged heavily at the bottom on both sides, but the sides are flat. So, and the entire cabinet is loose. The whole thing really needs to be taken apart and re-glued, right? I mean, everything on it is loose. It's missing a stretcher from the feet. You can kind of see where the stretcher used to go all the way across. So, for reference, they're both plywood boxes with veneer wrapped around them, walnut veneer. On this Airline one, the legs are not walnut. They're some kind of a white pine or something like that, a white wood that's kind of yellowed, of course, with age, and just some stain on it. Not sure if I'll leave those things stained or paint them black or really dark. I'm not really sure. But I definitely am going to retain the walnut veneer, replace the side panels veneered, and I'll have to rebuild the entire top and veneer it. And that's okay, that's doable. Then my plan there is to have some sort of like a one-board computer inside there that I can have all my music on a thumb drive or solid state hard drive, something like that it can pull off of, and a small touch screen on the top. Well, nothing that's going to put a hole in the panel. I'm still figuring out exactly how I'm going to do this touchscreen thing, but some way that I can access all of my downloaded music. I'm not turning it into a streamer. I don't need another Bluetooth streaming radio. I've done that a few times. I think it'd be pretty cool for that. Have a built-in, originally probably go through a digital amplifier and some speakers, but ultimately what I'd like to do is build a stereo vacuum tube amplifier and put in that and maybe have some speaker outlets to have some good sized speakers outside of it. I don't know. I changed my mind a lot through projects, but that's my idea. This Philco one, however, I think they call that a waterfall design, and it's also walnut veneer. It's a little hard to tell because it's so rough. And there's also still some finish on it. I originally thought it was shellac, but since the alcohol didn't take it off, I don't know what it is. It could be lacquer. I really don't know. But I think I can lightly sand that thing and just put some new varnish on it, glue the veneer down at the top. So, the top is pretty loose like the other one. It's got some missing pieces. There's some cracks. There's areas where it needs to be repaired and glued. But I think I could do that and make that cabinet look decent. And that's, so far, if I do that, that's my only plan with it. I actually don't want it. I don't want to have to store something so huge. I don't have a place for it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Right now, my only plan is that I'll probably make the cabinet look nice, and then I may try to find a buyer for that. But this may not happen every week or every 2 weeks or anything like that. I have so much going on around here. There's so many different projects going on right now. I'm still working on that monster drill press, redoing the chuck right now for that. I've got some electronic stuff going on. And of course, that'll be another major electronics project, working on a little cabinet, a little display for my wife's nail polish collection with some small hidden drawers, things like that are going on. I still need to finish the drawers for my workbench, so I've got 8 more of those drawers to build and label. I still have to build the cabinet for my workbench. I'm still overdue a cabinet over here instead of that temporary stuff. I've still got this entire lathe to refurbish and make usable, along with all the household projects. So anyway, I will reach back out to you when I have another update on the radio thing.